It's so fun. Welcome everyone to Everyone's a Little Queer podcast. Today we have the incredible, amazing SJ. SJ, welcome.
Thank you for having me, ML.
Yes. Now, SJ, you and I have known each other for a lifetime.
Mm,
I'm going to say a
yes.
lifetime because I look back on just the journey that I've had through the military, and that does seem like a lifetime ago because I have officially surpassed the amount of time that I was in the military outside of it. It's military, and it's flown by. I mean,
Wow, I didn't realize it's been that long. Now I feel old.
I'm older, not old, just older. You
Older,
have
yeah.
gray, I have gray, that's
Yeah.
all I think all a part that's wisdom. Every gray hair is wisdom, right?
It is. It's our tinsel from our kids and our stress.
Yeah. Probably more latter than the former, but yes.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, well, welcome again. This is gonna be so much fun. First off, to get to know you, so we kinda put it to where are you from? Where's home for SJ? I know you're been everywhere, so it's kinda hard to narrow that down, but if you closed your eyes and said and you clicked your ruby slippers and you were gonna go home, where's home?
If I had ruby slippers, should I be so lucky? Home would be Okinawa, Japan. My father was also in the Air Force, and so I grew up over there. Got there when I was 7 years old and left when I graduated high school.
Oh, you were there forever.
Yeah, that was home. For me, I grew up thinking lobster was free because my dad used to go night diving when lobster would come out with their spear guns, and they would bring lobster home, and we would grill it and eat it, and, yeah, I refused to pay for lobster till I was, like, 35.
Yeah, the joys of when you get free things and then you
Oh.
have to pay for it, you're like, "This is horrible."
Yeah, and I thought it was just normal that other people grew up at a very young age snorkeling and diving and kayaking, and I know I was diving younger than I was supposed to be, but my dad was an instructor, so, got to do great, amazing things, and, loved it. Loved growing up over there. Never got there in my Air Force career, though. I've tried for almost 20 years.
Which I think the Air Force knows that, right? I think the Air Force knows where people call homes, and they either are like, "You wanna be there so bad, and so we're not gonna send you there," or, "You don't wanna be
Yes.
there, we're gonna send you there."
Yes. Yes.
There's no in between. It's either one or the other. You're never indifferent about home, and they're like, "Well, we could send you there if you want to." Now how long
Wait,
you're about to retire though, right?
I am.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna do you wanna move back there then?
I do, but, my wife is also active duty air traffic control, and she's got a couple more years left, so I am still kinda tied to an Air Force base.
Yeah, just for a little bit.
Um,
Would she move over there with
yeah.
you? Like
Oh, yeah, she would love to. I haven't been a lot of places in the States. You and I were at Whiteman together, and my first base was Minot, North Dakota. I had never seen snow in my life and, got to shovel it.
Oh god, it's so bad.
A a lot of it, and then, I was stationed in mainland Japan before here, and my wife and I both had all West Coast bases on our Air Force Dream Sheets, so they were, like, awesome deep south.
Yes. Yeah, because 'cause you're still in Georgia now, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god. No, thank you. I mean, I can't say anything. I'm in Missouri, so
Yeah. I think I would go back to Whiteman. I would have gone back to Whiteman. I think I would live closer to you guys, though, like, maybe Blue Springs,
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I
Summit.
did. Yeah, that's what I did when I lived in Blue Springs and Independence just because it was better than being literally in the middle of nowhere, Missouri,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
is what it
I think that would
is.
be a good idea, and the drive wasn't that bad. Mhm.
No, no, I mean, all the way down there
Yeah.
from Blue Spring, you're looking 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. Not bad
It's
at
not
all.
bad. No traffic either, so that's nice.
Nope.
So how is family life? How's that going? You got your kids back there down there with you, or they
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
kids are here, the younger kids like it a lot, the my oldest one really misses mainland Japan. We were up at Misawa for a couple years, and he did not wanna leave, but, we loved it, so, of course, the Air Force made us leave,
Right.
but, it's okay, it happens, but, it's hot down here. It's hot, we're not used to it being so hot. And I'm ready. Even though growing up on a tropical island, I tell people it's different because Okinawa is 60 miles wide at its widest point. So there's ocean breeze everywhere.
Gosh,
Here, it's a
wonderful.
swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, and the humidity down there is
So,
just absolutely terrible.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot. So, But yeah, hoping for something soon because I hit the retirement button not too long ago, and I'll get to start my retirement house hunting and then hopefully skill bridge on 6 October.
Not oh god, that's so soon.
I know.
I know,
So
you get that
excited.
retirement, that senioritis bliss.
You know, it is, and you know, you and I talked about that when you were active duty too, that you kinda don't know when it's your time to leave, and then suddenly it hit you. Um,
Yeah.
and you knew it was your time to go, you had better opportunities ahead of you, and you just kinda had that gut feeling, and I kinda got that when I got here. It was one of those I've never said I was gonna stay in for 20 years. I never said I was gonna stay in for 10. I just kinda see what happens. And we got here and I was like, "Oh, it's time."
Yeah. Yeah, I think I still keep in touch with some people that I was with you guys at Whiteman, and there that it seems to be a kind of a common occurrence now where they're getting to these 4th or 5th places post Whiteman for years down the line, now 10 years down the line, and they're like, I'm done. I gotta leave because it's not for me anymore," you know, and so
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but I mean, you've made a wonderful career out of it, so it
Oh, yeah.
definitely worth it.
For sure, it's been a great life. It was a great life for me growing up. It's been great for my kids, but you get to that point where you're tired of missing so many things and getting to the point where I'm 40 and I'm still not in charge of my off time and my schedule and I'm ready to make those decisions and do what I want when I want. I'm ready to take a day off and not have to tell six different people above me where I'm going.
Yeah. Oh god. I'm gonna tell you right now that that is one of the most freeing things that I still think about to this day of when I'm just like, "I need a day. I need to take a moment. I need a whole day." I just one person and that's it. And there's no questions asked. You know, it's not,
Ugh,
"Well, where are you
I
going? What are you doing?" Or when I travel, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" I
Yeah,
just
and fill out these forms and, "Oh,
Yeah.
no, you better fill out a form for everything because if you didn't fill out a high-risk activity form for one thing and then you get hurt, you know, we may not." Anyways, I'm happy for you, I think that's great,
Yeah.
I can't wait
I'm
for that.
happy. Oh, I'm so happy for you. It's gonna be wonderful. So
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
and you
excited.
kinda brought up a good point, kind of taking charge of yourself. And I think that's
Mm,
what, let's talk about that. Let's taking charge of yourself because you, although kind of a part of the LGBTQIA plus community for a long time, your journey has been there for a while, but I knew you when you were married to a man. You knew me when I was married to a woman. So we kinda
yeah.
have that similar journey, right? I always call it a journey because it is. It's a journey. It's gonna learn where we are, right? And so taking charge of yourself and now look where you're at.
Oh, yeah,
How did that journey
absolutely.
where did your journey through the spectrum of sexuality, through gender, where did that start for you? Do you remember?
I do actually. I when my dad was stationed in Biloxi, I was little, my first kiss was the girl across the street. And then we just kinda kept doing it. We kept practicing with
Oh,
each other. Um,
practice it. Everybody has a have to practice partner. It's
you know,
important.
we all practiced, and then, you know, you do the thing what society expects you to do, you date, you know, dated the little boys, but never I always thought they were so gross. And
Yeah.
then in high school is when I really started dating, another female teenager, but we had to hide it because both of our dads were active duty, and, they must have found out a little bit something because both our dads met at the Cadena Burger King to discuss us, and we had to they kept us away from each other, you know, and when you do that to teenagers, what's gonna happen? You
Oh,
they're gonna find a
rebellion.
way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you was your dad definitely not like, "Hey, you're not gonna do this," or
oh, yeah. They never even put it to words. I mean, to be fair, my mom never even talked to me about getting my period. I figured that all out on my own also.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So it was a lot
you
of, like, if we don't mention it, it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Oh,
They,
wow.
you know, they had us in church. We went to a Southern Baptist church all the time. And when I was really little, I remember getting kicked out of Sunday school class because I always just wanted to know why these teachers would make these statements about certain things, especially about death, stayed with me. And I'd go, well, why? Or how do we know that? And I'd get in
Yeah.
trouble for asking. And then so that's kind of how everything was. We don't talk about any of those things. And so I think my parents just thought if they were like, hey, you can't see her anymore, and we're not going to tell you why, but obviously it continues. She actually came to my basic training graduation, but she was in the Navy, and as you
Oh.
well know, "Don't ask, don't tell" was,
Yeah.
um, big
Yeah.
still
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Um, So we had actually scraped money together for her because she was stationed in California. So for her to fly to my basic training graduation, we didn't want it to look suspicious. So she yoinked another friend and we paid for her plane ticket so they were there together.
Oh my god, the hoops you had to jump through.
Yeah.
That's and this was the same girl through your teenage years that in Kadena, right, that you were saying, and so it's still to that
Yeah. Yeah.
kind
And
of that's crazy though.
so we had lost contact after high school. And that was before social media or anything. And believe it or not, I could probably write a romance novel on this, but I start finding I remember her family being in Tennessee, and at this point, I'm already graduated high school, I'm living in Texarkana, Texas, and so I start looking up her last name. I'm looking through phone books, I'm trying to find people in Tennessee where I knew she was from. I get a hold of her grandma. This is, like,
Okay.
2 years in. I get a hold of her grandma, and I say, "Oh, I'm a friend from high school," and she says, "Oh, well, she's in the Navy now?" And I said, "Oh, do you know where she's stationed?" "No, but I'll give you her sister's number." So I call her sister, and she
Okay.
tells me that she's on the USS Carl Vinson. She's on an
Oh.
aircraft carrier. So I start calling up there, and
Oh
I'm
my god.
calling for months. So I'm calling the ship, and I'm
Yeah.
calling for months, and at this time, I'm going to beauty school because I wanted nothing to do with the Air Force at this point. I'm probably 19 at this point, and I finally get a hold of an operator on the ship one day because it's thousands of people. She
Yeah.
happened to know who I was looking for because anytime I would call, they go, "We don't know who that is, and we don't have a way to track down one sailor. Stop it."
Sure.
I someday this one day I called and I got a hold of a friend of hers, and she got her in touch with me, and we started talking, and then we did try again. But when I came in the Air Force, they indoctrinate us a lot.
Yes. Yo, yeah.
And so I got scared. I got scared and I broke it off because we knew I was Air Force, she was Navy, and we knew that it was illegal. But it felt like it was natural and we should be there. But then after basic training, I was like, no, can't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And so,
I had that same kind of sort of same experience. So, like, when Christine and we were dating before the Air Force, and then
okay.
I joined the Air Force. The day I turned 18, the next day, gone, and I joined the Air Force.
Wow.
So, she was 6 months younger than I. So, when I graduated basic training at the end of October, she wasn't quite 18. She had come down to the, graduation and everything. She wanted to have sex while we were there, and it was that same fear that don't I'm not no, like, I'm not going
Yeah.
to do anything with you, I don't wanna do anything because I don't wanna jeopardize. Because they do, they put that fear for 8 weeks into you
Hmm.
of what's gonna happen. So, yeah, and even more when you go to MEPS, before MEPS, at basic training, prior to graduation, they have you sign over and over and over again that don't ask, don't tell stuff.
Yes.
I remember signing it and going, "Well, is this is not good." Like
Same. Well, and so, I came in '06, and you remember right outside the dorm we stayed in at tech school, there was like that flagpole, but it was like up on a
Yeah.
raised concrete step.
Uh-huh.
Um, and one of the girls that was like 2 classes ahead of me, she graduates tech school or whatever. Well, then suddenly we're hearing rumors that she's disappeared. She's gone AWOL. She didn't report to her base. Well, they
Oh.
found her with her girlfriend and they brought her back. They called all of us outside to stand up in formation and they made her stand on that flag base,
Uh-huh.
the big concrete steps so we could all see her. And they announced what they had caught her doing, that she had been with a female and that they were going to court martial her. And so that made me even more
Oh my
scared. And one, the
god.
public humiliation too,
Oh,
um,
Jesus. What is
of
this,
it.
like,
And
the
we all hated.
1800s? Like, Jesus
Yeah, I mean,
Christ,
it seemed
like
like a witch hunt.
yeah.
This was summer of '06, and they stood her up on that step, right outside our dorm. They said everything, and then they put her in handcuffs, and we never saw her again.
Jesus, that's you
So,
lose a good airman all because of love, right? You
yeah,
know?
because of who they sleep with, which
Yeah.
is none of anyone's business anyway. But I never I never labeled myself anything. I don't think I still do. Like, in high school, I was crude, and I said, "I love who I love, and I fuck who I fuck."
Yeah.
So
You were just crude in high school, but now as a 40-year-old almost retiree, we're a little bit more mature, right? You're just it's just gonna fuck who we wanna fuck, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And, those things are always there though, right? So, but you marry men
Yeah.
and, but I always struggled sexually with men. It never interested me. I had kids, obviously, but like
Yeah.
I would have to drink to do anything or,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
basically
like
that.
I mean, when you talk about I mean, sex is such an important thing in a relationship too, and if you are essentially numbing yourself just to get through it, then god, I couldn't imagine how bad that is.
Yeah, never yeah, and it doesn't and it didn't obviously didn't help anything, and I don't know if you knew, but, um, and I were living in on separate floors of that house we had in Warrensburg for, like, the last
Yeah.
6 years.
Wow. Yeah.
So, he lived downstairs, I lived upstairs, and we existed and we co-parented, but that wasn't fair to him, and it got to a point where I got my ducks in a row like I had before because I've been divorced 3 times.
Yeah.
And so I did the same thing that I always did. I put the house on the market, I got it sold, I got the vehicles paid off and in separate names, and then I filed for divorce. That way it would be easier,
Smart.
just for both of us,
Right.
to go on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a smart thing to do. I mean, and obviously, so was your the last man that you were with. Prior to that,
Yeah.
we had you had Navy Girl as your essentially your first love interest, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that was her, and then so
Yeah.
it just never worked out with men though for you. It just wasn't a thing that ever did it for you, right? So
Nope, it didn't, and then after, you know, I was very, I was like, "I am done. I'm done forever. We're all done. I'm just gonna focus on the kids and focus on my career," and then white men made me go to chief controller course. And they rescheduled it 3 times actually, and, the 3rd time I was trying to get out of it because who am I gonna have watch my kids? Oh, because by this point, divorce was done, already gone.
sure,
Mr. Louis comes in, he says he'll watch the kids so I can go. So now I, like, have to go to this 2-week course,
sure,
and, lo and behold, I meet my wife down there, and I always get energies from people, I can read them really well, and it was, like, day 3 in class, and her and I were sitting across the room from each other, and, ooh, let me tell you,
yeah,
there was I,
Y-
uh, I had some things that I wanted to do,
yeah. You were like,
so
we are going to celebrate Chief Controller course in a very special, fun way."
yes, and so the last night of most of these TDYs, the whole class goes out
Right.
and they have drinks or something, and, she said she had never had anyone make eyes at her like I did, and she sat down at the table, she was, like, 2 people away from me, and whatever it was that I did with my eyes, she knew.
Yeah. So, I mean, you see her, so you go to this course, you see her. Did you know she's a part of this alphabet mafia with you, or were you just like you got the
Yeah,
vibe and we're like, "I'm gonna explore that and just see where it goes."
I was pretty sure, because I normally my gaydar is really right on point, even to the point where when
You never even knew me. No, I'm just kidding.
you and I hinted to you a couple times actually when we were at Whiteman. There was times we were playing games and,
Yes.
you didn't take the bait.
I I I was always so I always would leave, right? And I would say in my head, "That's weird that she would say that. Why would she say that?" I always took it home with me, like, on my drive, because I lived, 40 minutes away, on my drive home, and I would always think back, like, that was weird that she did that. That was weird that she said that, right? And, like, in my head, never I have the worst gaydar in the entire world. I cannot tell. But also, I think a lot of it is because I do not care. I
Yeah,
don't
same.
care. Just do whatever you wanna do, right? And if you wanna be that and be you and be a part of this, then do it. If you wanna be straight, then be straight. I don't care. So I don't look
Right.
or, like, read into things so much. But there was a couple things, yeah, you said one time. I do remember sitting there. Actually, I remember sitting as an approach and you were on assist, and you said something, and I looked and I was like, I think this bitch is joking right now. I don't know, but
So, there was one night that BB started we were on swings, I think, and BB was there for some reason, and, he was wanting to people to, like, talk about their, first love, high school, your first girlfriend, your first boyfriend,
yeah.
and when the circle came to me, I only said very specifically, "My high school sweetheart." All I would say was "high school sweetheart." I never said "he" or "she"
Yes.
because of that, and
I caught that.
yeah.
I caught that because I thought it was so interesting. In my head, I was like, "This is interesting." She is being very vague, almost to a point that it's like she doesn't wanna say who it is, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's super smart looking back." How, like, intuitive and how creative that was to do during, because also it's still not during that time, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was gone, and it had been repealed during that
Yeah.
time, but it was still one of those things that when you're in the Air Force, especially if you're married to a man or you were with a man or whatever, the almost expectation in the military, I think, as a general, is you are heterosexual,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, so when it got repealed in 2011, I was at the house, was there, he was upstairs, and I remember seeing it on the news, and
Yeah.
I knew I knew then that I was gonna file, when I saw that it got repealed, and before I could even say anything, he jumped up and he's dropping F-bombs, both of them, and calling everybody everything, and I was honest with him when we were dating, so he knew that I had been with all different types of people,
Yeah.
and he just, like, stared at me, and I was like, "Well, I think it's a good thing people can be themselves," and oh my god, I think I got the house on the market, like, the next week.
Yeah. You're like, "This lesbian's out of here. We're gonna buy the
Ouch.
U." You had the U-Haul membership renewed and everything.
I did, I
I
did, and,
love it.
and Casey is my wife now, she's also a controller, and her and I
Yeah.
kinda did that, so she was stationed in Korea, and I was still at Whiteman, but, we were TDY together, and I didn't have social media, and I made a Facebook so I could message her because, like,
Well,
just
yeah.
seeing her, especially outside of uniform, I she showed up in shorts and, like, a T-shirt, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna" so I had some of my
Oh,
friends basically teach me how to make a Facebook so I could message her.
you're so technologically impaired. I love it.
Yeah, I
I
was like, I
mean,
didn't
in my defense, I haven't had a Facebook since 2014, since Hensley was born. I got rid of it
nah,
because I didn't want my daughter, I don't want my kids on that. That's which is not what I wanted to do.
yeah, same.
So I got rid of it. I don't have Instagram. I don't have formerly known as Twitter. I don't
Uh,
have Blue Sky. I don't have any of that. My
no,
husband does. And so he was talking about this podcast and he was like, "Well, we're gonna have to make social medias for it." And I said, "You're gonna have to make social medias for it."
Mark,
I said, "I
that's
will
you.
give you everything and I will tell you everything." I said, "Other than that, will not be doing it because social media scares the living shit out of me because how
Oh,
insane it has gotten in this day and age of people, the fake stuff that's out there, the
yeah.
people who believe in all of this fake stuff and believe in, the Superman Trump or the kitten jumping 10 stories off a building and living, and I'm like, "That's all of this shit." It doesn't matter what it is. I just and people it's performative in my opinion.
Oh,
Facebook, social media, Instagram is performative because you're only sharing with people the good. You're only showing them the good. You're not sitting there
yeah.
going, "Me and my husband got in a fight tonight and I'm crying," or, "Oh, this happened or that happened." You're not doing that. You're only going, "Oh, look, I made a new cake," or, "Oh, look at this house I bought," or, "Oh, it's just bullshit." I'm not here
Oh,
for that. I want the raw life. Tell me how shitty your Tuesday's been because of traffic. I wanna know about that.
yeah. No, I'm the same. I don't have it now, I got what I wanted out of it. I got
Yeah.
her. And so it's that old bait and switch. I was like,
You
"Eh, and
were
I'm done
you
with
were
social media."
doing online dating before online dating was a thing. You just didn't know it then.
Yeah, and so I knew I had Mo on my Facebook, and when I finally posted those pictures of us together, you and I hadn't talked in years, not
Yeah,
for anything bad, just because we had lost touch,
right. Yeah.
and I knew Mo worked with you, and when I posted those first pictures of her on Facebook, and I just think I put, "I finally found my queen," you texted me, like, 2 days later, and you were like, "Hey."
Yes. Well, I did because he had, come to me. We were sitting at the house, and he was like, "SJ is a lesbian." And I said, Explain yourself." He goes, "Look." And he shows me the pictures of you and her and everything. And I said, "Wow." I said, "Gorgeous lesbians always find each other. It's just a thing." I said, "Good for her." And he goes, "Have you talked to her at all?" "No, haven't talked to her in years." I think I said I still have her number somewhere. I'll text her,
Yep.
and yeah, that was it.
I
That was
love that you did that, and you are not the first person that's done that. So there are 2 different girls that I went to basic with that I thought were like me, but we couldn't really say a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Um, that after that post also reached out to me and it was also, "Hey," and I wrote back, "You're gay." And they were like, "How'd you know?"
You're a homo. You're gay.
Yeah, and I'm like, "I have known since 2006. You didn't know." But I
Yes.
had to wait for you to come around.
See, my first I always knew I was bisexual. Like, if we're labeling things, if we wanna talk about labels, whatever, I always knew I was bisexual. I My first experience was with a boy. Like, that was I enjoyed that, and I was confused because I
Yeah,
was, like, 11 or 12 years old, and so I didn't further explore that as I got older because I found Christine when I was 17 and we dated, and I thought that was it, right? So,
yeah,
here I am. I know that I like both. I know that both excites me in a way that it's hard to explain. You know, when you talk about
uh,
sexuality and what you're attracted to, when it came to men and women, I knew I liked what men offered, I liked what women offered, and so I'd always kind of been there, but being with a woman, it was always just, this is who I'm with, so that's who I wanted, I felt good, I felt comfortable, I felt where I wanted to
yeah,
be, and I
safe.
remember yeah, well, safe and happy, I was happy for a long
Oh,
time, until I
that's
wasn't,
good.
and then now, bye. But that's okay, it's okay to go through that. And I remember being at tech school, and in one of the halls, I was coming out, and not in that kind of way though, but I was coming out of the
You
hall,
were walking.
I was walking out, and these 2 guys stopped me and said, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" I said, "Nothing." They're like, "Oh, do you wanna go to this place and grab some dinner or whatever?" And, "Okay, I'll go." I didn't know anyone, I'll go hang out. Well, come to find out they're both gay. They thought I was gay. And I was still young, I was only 18 and
Yeah.
in the era of the don't ask, don't tell still, and in that fear, and I said, "No, I'm not, but thank you." And like, "Are you sure? Because you give off the vibes." And I went back to my dorm room, and I was texting a friend, of mine, like a long-term friend that I've known for years that been very open with, and I was like I told her what happened and everything, and she goes, "But you kind of are." It's like, "But they don't need to know that."
It's scary
Yeah, it
because
was, very.
because they also had, like, plants around. There was this, when I was at tech school, there was a dude that got busted. He was is, still don't ask, don't tell, and, I didn't say anything to anybody, and I was actually still legally married to a dude when I came in the Air Force. He was stationed in England, I was here. We had already
Yeah.
lived apart for, like, a year, but I didn't say shit. I still don't know how this anyways, I'm walking into Cody Hall one day, and he stops me and turns me around, and I've already heard that he's gotten busted, and we've already seen him going over to OSI to get interviewed,
Yeah.
and he stops me, and he turns me around, and he goes, "Hey, I need help." And I was like, "Alright, man, what's up?" And he's like, "Well, I heard you might be like me." And I said,
Oh.
"Where are you going with this?" And he goes, "Well, I kinda heard you'd be like me, and you might be able to help me." And I said, "Hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about. If you can give me specifics on what you need, but I mean, I'm in the same squadron as you," and I kind of played it off like that.
Yeah,
Dude turned around and walked off and left, and I still don't know where he went, and I don't know if he was trying to like snitch on other people,
sure.
bait other people. But yeah, I just kind of left it at that, and I was like, I don't really know what you're talking about. And then I went in, um, and he was gone. He was gone after that. He must have gotten kicked out too.
That
But
was,
yeah, it
like,
was.
such an unnecessary fear, such an
Uh huh.
unnecessary fear. Here you are trying to do good, you put the uniform on, you're going to tech school, you're gonna serve, you got your tour, you got whatever, but in the back of your
Yeah.
mind, everyone has to think, like, "Is this person gonna come after me because I licked a titty one time?" Or, like, oh my god, it's just that it's such the military in general, and still I from what I hear, as I'm obviously not a part of it anymore, I don't have to deal with that shit anymore, but it is still heavily heteronormative.
Oh yeah.
It still
Oh yeah.
is.
Good Old Boys Club is 100% still in swing, especially for it is very much so the white heterosexual males, and
Yeah.
especially balding. Don't ask me why. They stick
Okay.
together.
Well, it's less grooming that they have to do.
True. So they
Yeah.
have more time to have their noses in other people's business,
I
is
guess
what it
so,
seems. And
yeah.
um, But, oh, there's more that we can talk about when I officially retire, but, it has been frustrating, it's always been our career field was very male dominated. A lot of
But
them are,
still,
and still are, but in 20 years, I never had a hatter on my watch. I never had a safety of flight issue on anyone on my crew, and I'm proud of that when it comes to air traffic because most of the men that I've worked with, if not all, have all had something happen.
yeah. Oh, yeah. But as a woman, well, first off, just as a woman in general, in the military, as a controller, you have a lot more to prove day in and day out that you show up to work. And that's unfortunate
Oh, yeah.
because I tell people all the time, I say some of the greatest controllers I've ever worked with are women because of that, because they come in
Nice.
every single day ready to prove themselves, like, to 100% degree for the moment they step foot into the building to the moment they step foot out of that building. And still, even in the
Yeah,
FAA, I see the same thing. And you have a lot of men who wanna show up and they can be cocky. It's fine. I've been around 16 years as a controller this year, and so I've seen it all, I've heard it all. And
that's
you do,
amazing.
yeah, and I love the job. I love where I'm at, I love this job, and I love everybody in it. But you do see that. I mean, some of the best controllers I've seen were women, and, you have so much to prove there. And when you and KC got together then, I mean, did that dynamic change, like, in the Air Force at all? Or were you more accepting? Like, here you are showing up with, oh, your wife now or your girlfriend.
Yeah, I think so. It definitely shocked some people when I was at Misawa because, I stay pretty quiet around people still, even
Yeah.
after it got repealed. And I had two bosses when I was stationed at Misawa because I was filling two billets there. And so I told both my lieutenant colonels that my girlfriend was coming in, and they both were like, "Who?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, my girlfriend, and I might propose to her." And so you could tell their brains were going like, "Does she mean girlfriend like they say in the South? Girlfriend or like girlfriend?" And I wanted to be like, "We have sex a
Yeah.
lot," but I didn't.
See, I, on the other hand, would have, and that is why I'm not in anymore.
So, and then like here, so this is the first base that we've been stationed together. And it's crazy because also we look nothing alike. You've seen pictures of her. She's Hispanic. She has short,
Yeah.
very black hair. She's gorgeous. I am very clearly white. My hair is graying.
Yeah.
And several times here, we're in uniform together, and I took her last name. So,
Okay.
both our name tapes say Cruz, and people will go, "Oh, sisters?" And we're like, "No." And also we have, we're wearing rings.
Oh my god. I That happened to Mark and I pulling into the gate one day at work, and this is before we got married, okay? So we were engaged, and so we were on the same schedule. Literally, we had the same days off, we worked the same hours, we had the same schedule 100%. So we rode to work every day together.
Yeah.
For years. Out of nowhere, this gate one of the gate guards, like, stops and goes, "Hey, so, like, what's the dynamic here? Do you guys, like, just live close together or, like, roommates, or, like, are you brothers? Because you guys always come into work together." And I looked over at Mark, I looked back at him, I looked at Mark again, and I was like, "No, we're engaged." And he goes, "Oh, that's cool too," and then just walked back inside. And I was like, it was the strangest thing, and I get into the area, and I had to tell everybody about it, and so Mark goes to his area, is telling everyone
Yeah.
about it, and now still to this day, there's one guy that every time I see him in the hallway, he's like, "Hey, brother." It's it's the funniest thing, but it that especially you, I mean, you're down in the boony South, so people
Mm,
that's not the first thing they think of
yeah.
is that somebody can be with somebody who's of the same sex. Maybe you are together. They don't think like that.
Oh, no. No, they just would sooner and actually one of them was a it's funny that happened to you guys trying to go through a gate. One was, the deli at the commissary on base, and it was like the 2nd day in a row, commissary sandwiches, and we did the same thing you and Mark did. We rode together, we were on the same shift when we first got here, same name, and she goes, "Oh," she's making our sandwich, and she's like, "Oh, sisters?" And we go, "No, we're married," and she went, "Sisters." And we were like,
Yeah,
No.
like, if she says it enough times, you will just be like, "You know what? We are sisters. You're right, we're
Yeah,
wrong. Move on."
yeah.
It's
And that's when we were leaving the commissary and Casey's like, "Man, if we weren't in uniform, I would have loved to just go, 'No, we fuck.
I
Thanks.'"
know, I know. That uniform is so restrictive.
It is. It is. So,
Yeah,
we're always careful with it, and then people can't seem to get us straight here, so she, outranks me, so she's E8, I'm E7. Our first names are different, we have different jobs here, and still we've been here for 3 years, we still get each other's emails, they still call me her rank and her my rank, and I'm like, "Guys, it is not that confusing."
that
It's
that's like you're not even trying. Like, you're not
yeah,
even trying to put in the effort to know first off, to know the person that you're talking to, and it's just
right.
disrespectful to you guys and your marriage and your love. That's bullshit. Like, I'm sorry
Do
you
you
have to deal with
remember
that.
we kinda talked about this when I was at work. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it's
There might be a little
disrespectful.
delay, it seems like sometimes. I'm sorry, you deal with it, but do you, yeah, it is. Because do you remember when we were at Whiteman, you remember what my last name was there?
Yeah,
It was difficult to say, and that
yeah,
was something that the whole I think I had that last name for almost 10 years, and I had no problem telling people because there would be people that'd be like, "Ah, I'm not gonna learn it," or they would still go, "Oh, and I'm like, if you actually care about somebody, you learn to say their damn name. It's not that
correct.
hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah.
But there's always gonna be those people too. Uh, it
I
happens.
yeah, I definitely feel that. I definitely see that, and we don't have so much of that issue outside the military, but there's not as much turnover either. Like, there's not that many people PCSing or moving in and out, and you're not the biggest thing is we get just new people coming in. There's not so much movement or anything like that.
Yeah.
Once you're there, once you're in a place, you're pretty much in a place for quite a while before you move, and we're not moving whole crews at a time
Uh,
either, where you guys could move 4 or 5 people and then get 4 or 5 new ones, and that rotation is a lot.
yeah, remember when they sent, like, 6 of us to Korea at the same time?
Oh, yeah. And then they got mad because there was 2 supervisors left, and they were like, "Well, who's gonna work?" I'm like, "Whose idea was it to send fucking everybody?"
Yeah. We had Whiteman East going on over there, and, it's still that way. It hasn't gotten
Well,
better. They have been saying,
Kansas
"Do more
City
with less" for
is
my whole 20 years, and
right, and Kansas City, all the air traffic out here is Whiteman West, so
see, now, what are your thoughts on and we don't even have to talk on it if you want, but 40-year-olds joining the FAA, like, I'm gonna retire at 41 and I'm useless to the FAA.
I well, I mean, why do you say that? I think, I think there's more there than that. Why do you say that you're useless to the FAA?
Well, because if you don't have a TOL by the time you're 36, you can't, like, I can't come work with you guys at the age of 41.
Do they not have? I guess they don't have. I'd have to look into it because I know they had that retirement thing, right? Like, if you retired out or is it you retired by 36? Is that what it was? Because there's no way though. Because I know some people are retiring out of the Air Force and coming to work as controllers.
Do what now? You said did what go away?
Well, they used to have a retirement program where you retire out of the military and you could be hired by the FAA.
I haven't heard of that one in a long time. The deepest they have gone with it is to the age of 36 because I know Big Air Force was still trying to work with FAA because then they still can't get 20 years out of people. So even if you came in at the age of 18, you can't do a full 20 with the Air Force. If that's a
Yeah.
thing, I would look into it, but it seems like for most of us, it's like those GS jobs. They could because they can do age waivers. There's contract towers. Um,
Well,
you
that's
can go be a
something.
TERPS specialist somewhere, which a lot of those are remote, and I wouldn't mind that. I could just stay home.
Well, I think they were remote. The age of the administration we have right now, I think remote there it's yeah, not a thing right now.
Uh, uh,
We we had a couple
What
people who got very, very excited in January because they got promoted to a remote work from home gig, and then February 8th, we're all back trying to find an office for them because the administration said no. So,
mm,
we have a bunch of people we've never seen before that just work in our district are now in our building.
like sharing computers, I guess. You and I
Yes.
should reconvene on like 1 April
One oh,
would be
yes.
good.
I will put you down.
Mm.
We will do a follow I would love to do a follow-up. We could just, like, chit chat too, because I love chit-chatting.
Me too. This has been great, but 1 April, I will officially be out of the Air Force.
Yeah,
Um,
and we can chit chat more and more openly.
yeah,
I love
there's
it.
more things.
You're like, "I have
Yes.
20 years of bullshit to get out."
At some point, yes. Oh, and oh, the things I'm gonna grow for myself and make for myself is just
I
gonna
love
be
all of these for you, yes. What,
Mm,
so I know you talked a little you hinted at, like, your mom, your dad, they were very, like, if we don't acknowledge her sexuality, if we don't acknowledge it, if we keep girls away from her, anything like that, right? That's a
yeah.
pretty big
Mhm.
struggle growing up, I think,
Oh, yeah.
and but then you okay, we move on, marry a couple times, we have kids with a man, we're say, "Hey, don't ask, don't tell's gone. I'm done. I'm gonna figure this out." I really feel like is that where your journey of finding SJ, finding who SJ is that where do you feel your journey started there or prior
Yeah.
to?
I mean, probably. I mean, I'm like you. I don't regret anything in my past. I wouldn't change anything in my past because 'cause we're
Yeah.
here because of that, but, um, yeah, it was definitely more freeing even though I had no intention. I didn't know anybody that I wanted to date. I just knew that I was ready to happily be divorced and wasn't gonna look for anybody anyway, and as in all things in life, people come into our lives for a reason. The universe sends them our way. Um, and I actually just reconnected with my dad. We haven't spoken for probably 8 or 9 years. And he just got done with his second visit up here. He came up for the first time last month and met my wife. And
How
it was
did that go?
wonderful. It was really wonderful. I was proud of him. He hugged her. He told her that he loved
Oh.
her.
Aw.
Um, and so not that any of that was intentional, but it just kinda got to the point where he had some anger that he needed to work out, and I couldn't be around it. It just
Yeah.
too much negativity, so we invited him, we talked about it, Krista and I talked about it, and because he hadn't even seen the kids in a long time, so,
Oh, wow.
um, it turned out great, and he texts and he asks about her, and he actually got her phone number, and they text back and forth now too, and so they got along great, and I love that even as someone who was old school Air Force and raised in a church was able to be like, "Wow, I really miss my daughter and my grandkids."
Isn't it crazy though when, like, let's it's that conservative view, right?
Mm.
It's that conservative mindset, and I actually on another episode, I talked with somebody about this. I said, "Anytime someone tries to throw the Bible at me, I ask what year their Bible was printed, and if it's anything after 1946, I do not even acknowledge them."
Yeah,
But you have that conservative view that against, homosexuality, it's a sin, whatever, until that view starts affecting them negatively.
yep.
8 years is a lifetime when it comes to grandkids or
Oh,
kids.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
How much has your life changed in 8 years? Look where you're at. You
Yeah,
are married to a beautiful, wonderful woman. You have a great home, a great life, and your father unfortunately had to miss out on that and now has to play catch up.
yeah.
And no fault of your own for just being happy.
Mhm.
It's almost like and that kind of I'm very happy that he's come back around for you.
Yeah.
That's most parents don't do
Well,
that, so
thanks.
that's
Right.
amazing.
No, it is, and he had a lot that he needed to work on too, his post 9/11 deployments were weighing really heavy on him,
Yeah.
and so it kinda got to the point it was when I was in Korea, so, like, 2014, I called him from Korea, and that was when I was like, "You gotta get help, and I'm gonna back off until you get the help you need." And he did,
Fair.
and I'm proud of him for that because it's also hard for a lot of men to take a knee to get help, and to admit when they do need to look out for themselves.
I mean, as much as I do, being just a controller in general, how important mental health is
Oh, yeah.
and how unfortunate not getting the help that you need when you need it can happen.
Mhm.
We've lost one way too many controllers due to suicide and mental health issues.
Yeah.
Not and that's just controllers. So I think you and I have a different perspective on mental health, and the fact that you're able to call your dad out on it and say, "Hey, go get help,"
Yeah.
just shows the fortitude that you have and being able to see that. It's great.
Well, yeah, we all need to, and I think that's part of some of us are really good at reading people and I mean, I did the same thing with my mom, but I was pregnant with my oldest son when I told her the help that she needed to get and how she wouldn't bring her toxicity to her grandchild's life. And that was 17 years ago. Haven't heard from her since then, and my life has been amazing.
Yeah,
There is nothing missed. There is nothing that I wish were different. Um, you call him when you see him, and she was a terrible, awful person my entire childhood. And I was like, "Hey, here's X, Y, and Z. Work on these if you want to see your grandchild. If not, have a great life." And
I get it.
um, yeah, life is too short to have people around that behave that way. And I have always been of the mindset that just because you and I might share a little DNA does not mean that you get the privilege of being in my life and around my
Right.
children.
You know, blood family is great when they're there, they're supportive, and they're healthy to be around.
Yeah.
If not, I'm sorry. Just because we're blood does not mean that you have to be a part of my family. I can
No.
choose who's in my family, and that's a huge thing I think for me. I have most of my family is chosen family. I have a
Same.
couple, and that's the way I'm happy. And I'm like you. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
we live this great life. We're enjoying ourselves and we're out there promoting ourselves in positive energy and positive light. Um, Not because we're just dicks about it and just say, "Ah, fuck
No.
whoever," but it's because we want that healthiness for ourselves.
Exactly. And for
And
our kids, we want our kids to see that too and not be around those types of people or negative, the really negative ones and toxic ones. And
yeah.
um I don't have a problem telling people that. And I mean, I stayed with you and Mark, and I wouldn't have stayed if I had any blood relatives that were in Kansas City. I would not have stayed with them. I still would have stayed with you and Mark.
Yeah. Well, you're
So,
always welcome here. Our house is always open for
well,
any sort
thanks.
of lessee, it's always open for.
Well, you guys are always welcome down here if you ever want to come down to the swamp.
Oh, we're okay. Yeah, I appreciate the we're very much beach people,
Yes.
so we like to have where the beach is, but no, but you built this, right? We built this chosen family where we can turn to each other in the time of need. Or I I remember shortly after you and I reconnected, having some conversations and about where I was in life, about where you were in life, and we disconnected for years, not again, as you pointed out earlier, not because we didn't not want to talk, just life happened and
Oh, yeah.
we moved, I moved, you moved and lost a little bit of connection. So it's one of those things though, when you have that chosen family you can turn to, it's so important and it makes life so much more enjoyable.
Well, it does, and being able to understand, one, the casualness of relationships, but also what goes into them. And growing up in the Air Force, everybody was always leaving every 2 or 3 years, or we were leaving, and it's the same as now that I'm in the Air Force, and you wanna have connections with people. There's nothing nefarious about it. I don't have ill will. If I don't talk to you for 5 years and I somehow reconnect with you down the street, we're gonna pick up right where we left off. We're going to
Yes.
have great conversations. We're going to catch up. But it's impossible to do that constantly with hundreds of people that we have met and made connections with in our life. And so we always wish what's best for people. And I'm always thinking of other people. And every now and then I'll send a little text. And I
Yeah.
know my people, like you, because we get busy, life happens. We may not talk for 6 months. And I can go, "Hey, hope you guys are doing good." And you'd be like, "You too. I hope you guys are great." And there's no expectation of, "Well, she didn't call me. Why didn't, we need to talk for
Yeah.
2 hours right now." Like, It's
Oh
just a
god,
little.
I don't have 2 hours to give you to talk on the
No,
phone like
nobody does, and I learned that
No.
when I was little, like, when my friends first started leaving Island, they'd be like, "We'll be pen pals." By the age of 12, I was overwhelmed with pen pals. I was like, "I can't
Oh
keep writing
god.
letters."
That's the I would just write one with a blank name location, Xerox it or photocopy it, and then just fill the name in and mail that. Write one letter, copy them all, send them out.
Yeah. I mean, and the one good thing when I don't have obviously Facebook anymore, but when I did make Facebook to get in touch with Casey, I found people from middle school and high school and even elementary school. And it was cool because we were like, hey, you look great. How have the last 20 years been? Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm good too. Take care. You know?
yeah. I have one friend, we've been friends since we were 5 and 6 years old,
Yeah.
and this is a person that I still talk to at least once a week. Now we lost touch. They moved to the Northeast when I left Texas. We lived in Dallas together. They moved to the Northeast. I moved to Kansas City. We lost touch for a long time, and then we got back in touch, and it we picked right up, and that's just been it, actually, and she just met Mark recently in person for the first time, and it was incredible because this is one of my longest friends ever, but I remember when she was dating a woman for the first time and she came out as a lesbian, my mother was like, "Can you believe this? Can you believe she's a lesbian?" And I was like, "I don't really give a shit." She's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I just can't believe that." And I looked at her and I was like, "I don't care." And then
Yeah.
I texted her and I was like, "You go, girl." I was like, "You
Good.
get yourself some pussy, enjoy that."
And I love that you still have that relationship with them. And, I have a cousin that is my exact age who is also married to a woman, and they live in deep South Alabama. Um,
Oh,
and it's funny how you can try to be as strict as you want on kids and people, and like religion was very pushed on us. And I am so thankfully and happily atheist, and I would never shove that down people's throats. But
yes.
before I invited my dad to my house the first time, I told him, I said, look, we're going to have some boundaries this time. And I said, one of them is we worship no gods in this house. If you want to, that's fine. But I raise my children to be good, wholesome, honest people, to be good, wholesome, honest people. And
Work.
not because something in the sky or some mythical book or however you want to say it tells them to. I want them to know that we're just kind and we need to take care of each other as humans.
The fear that religion uses to make you afraid and to be a good person
Mhm.
is insane to me. Because
Awful.
there's so many teachings, and you grew up in a religious household.
Yeah,
I grew up in a religious household, and the religion is so prominent, and there's so many members of the LGBTQIA+ community who look at religion in such a negative light because of how the fear-mongering and the hate picked it's picked hate,
it is.
cherry-picked out of
Yep,
it to be used, when that book has so much more happiness and so much more joy in it if people would use it that way. I agree with you. I'm not religious by any means. I do the same
yeah,
as you. Just be a good person. I always tell the kids, "We are kind to somebody until you're an asshole to me, and then I get to be an asshole to you, and I'm gonna
exactly.
be the bigger asshole." Like, I'm not
Yep,
gonna be the bigger person, I am gonna be the bigger asshole because I'm gonna end whatever bullshit you decided to start, and that will be
exactly.
it.
Yep, yep, I'm the same, so I people can practice what they want to, that's fine, but,
Yeah.
um, I was glad that he respected that and didn't ask that, and, so that's good, and I even tried I came out to my grandparents, they're 85 and still living in Texarkana, Texas, doing great, and, I went to go drive my kids over there last summer to go see them, and I told them, I said, "Now Mimi and Poppy, you guys know I'm married, and I would love to bring my wife and let her see where I got to spend a couple summers as a kid and meet you guys." And you could tell she got mad, but all she said was no. And I said, well, okay, I respect that it's your house.
Yeah.
So I will not bring her. It's your house. Thank you for telling me. Would you guys be okay if I brought her and got her a hotel room? And that's where my Mimi said, Sarah, I don't feel comfortable with her in the state of Texas. And
Oh,
I said,
the whole she Mimi be owning the whole state of Texas. Somebody call Governor Abbott and let her know.
yep. So I said, yes, ma'am. Okay. And so we just decided to not take her at all. But at least I got a little giggle out of it. And I was like,
Uh
well,
Oh my god. The whole state of Casey cannot go step foot in Texas at
No,
all.
we gotta make sure our layovers are, like, in
I
Denver,
was gonna ask,
Charlotte.
you were talking about a flights for them soon, we gotta make sure that we look those flights up and we make sure we avoid all Texas layovers.
Gotta avoid Texas,
But
so
are
and
if here's my question, if you land at Dallas International, Fort Worth International, is that international? I think you'd be okay. If you just stay on the international
it
the
might
tiles
be,
that are just international tiles.
but Mimi might have some type of sensor everywhere in Texas, and she's gonna know if I bring my wife to that state.
The amount of gay cowboys that are in Texas, Mimi would be appalled. They're all fucking Broncos somewhere.
Oh my god, yep, I believe it. Yeah, it's a lot. Oh gosh.
Well, I got a question. You
Mm,
live in a deeper red state than I live, and
mhm.
I'm sure you see it more than I do. What kind of misconceptions do you and your wife, as I'm sure you see them not just at the base or in the military, probably around everywhere you live down there in Georgia. What misconceptions do you guys see and hear about this queer community that just makes you shake your head, it just makes you scoff at things?
They just they believe the ridiculousness that they see online, and I wish I could have "Still not a drag queen" plastered on the back of all of my vehicles because every time someone gets in trouble for assaulting children, being pedophiles, it's always white, straight Republican males every
Yeah.
time. It's pastors, it's men of the cloth, as they call it, and it's never us. It's never our community. And I can't say never because I don't know full statistics. So let me not try to wash over that like they do. Um, but it's a lot of that. Oh my God, I got to take a picture of this. There's someone that works at the Publix that I go to because I like their produce.
Oh,
And the
and a
back of
pub
their
sub. You gotta get a pub
and a
sub.
pub sub, right? But the back of their car is just it's so contradictory to me because they have a big sticker that says, "Abortion is murder, outlaw abortion," and then she's got, like, 3, "Don't tread on me, don't tread on my rights," and I'm like, "You dumb bitch."
The irony is not lost on these people.
No, and I'm like, "You fucking kidding me? Like, you are trying to control women's bodies," and it's a female that drives it because she also has Mega MAGA babe, and, oh, they're
Oh,
so cringy.
tell
All
me you're
all
in a
of them.
cult without telling me you're in a cult, right?
Oh, yeah, all of that, and if you were to
Yeah.
sit down and try to have a conversation and go, "You have 3 'Don't tread on me' stickers," different iterations of them, but you also have outlaw abortion. Who the fuck are you to try to tell women what to do with their bodies when you are also in the same breath saying that people can't tread on your rights?
Well, they don't want you treading on their rights, but they wanna tread on your rights
Yeah,
because you're a lesser person in their eyes. That's how I view it, and these people believe, again, going back to why I don't have social media and why I
mhm,
refuse to have social media is because of the lies. They believe and these are the people that growing up, probably the moms, growing up or the grandmas that said, "Oh, you cannot believe everything you see online," believing everything they see online.
yeah,
And so it is, I mean, historically, I mean, we could look it up, in statistically, the LGBTQ community are not out there raping children. The trans community, which is so far under attack, is just a community that is trying to exist as themselves.
yep.
And they just want to be seen as themselves. And so I agree with you. I think a big misconception, and I'm sure it is even more prevalent in the deep South,
Oh, yeah.
that that it is that way.
It's a lot of it, and, there's obviously places that we don't go and it's disheartening when there's certain signs on the roads that we drive all the time. And they're still up. They're still up to this day, and I love the subdivision that we live in. I love our HOA. You can't have signs out in your yard. If you have, like, a birthday sign or something, you have to get it approved, like, a week in advance, and it can only say happy birthday, and I'm
Oh,
so
wow.
happy that I don't have to see that shit when I drive in my neighborhood because it's enough just going from here to base. And it's just it's hate. It's hate is what it is. It's hate and it's willful ignorance. Um, and I don't want my kids down here.
Yeah.
We thought we would only be here for 2 years, and we just hit the 3-year mark here. So we do what we
Well,
can.
yeah, and I was gonna ask how your kids do. I mean, obviously, loving household, you guys are there. We're just living our lives. Same
Yeah.
I have the same kind of experience you're having, right? Same-sex marriage, we have kids, we're all just living our life.
Yeah.
But when you go out in the public and you get the judgy looks, the eyes, I mean, has the kids said anything about that? Do they even see that? Or do you guys just try to steer it away and, you know.
I think we kinda steer it away. Also, we don't like going out a lot, honestly, but I know when we
Fair.
first got here, they said that people had questions in their classroom because my 2 younger ones especially would go, "Oh, well, my moms are coming to my play tonight. My moms are coming," and so kids ask questions, and we had already told the kids, like, "You can tell people however much you're comfortable with, but,
Yeah.
you know, you do have 2 moms here," and that was their choice. I'd never made them call Krista their mom.
Yeah.
They started doing that on their own when they were comfortable.
Very natural, very that just shows how much love they have for her.
Yeah, absolutely, and
Yeah.
they've even and so I said, "Y'all can tell them whatever you want to, but we are married and we love each other and we have a great family and you can answer whatever questions that you want to." And I love that when we do go to their school, they actually light up and they're proud and they're happy and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
"It's my mom's," you know?
Yeah. I love that. Hensley and Phoenix are the same way.
That's
They
good.
Yeah, my kids are wonderful, and
Yeah,
the kids in both their classes, there's never been anything negative about it, like, about
that's
Mark and I or
great.
anything like that. Like, we will show up to the school to do an event, and we won't be like, we'll be standing there waiting to go to the gym or whatever, and kids will walk by and go, "Oh, that's Phoenix and Hensley's dads."
I
Like,
love that.
that's just it. That's just like they
That's it.
that's it. Because kids don't know hate. They
No.
are taught it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest. They are taught it, and when they I got to experience that firsthand, that taught of hate a few weeks ago, and I
Mm.
looked at the kid and I said, "You don't even know anything about politics. How do you know that you do not like what's happening right now?" And he goes, "Well, my parents don't like it." And I said, "That's the problem.
Ugh, I hate
That's
that.
what you're growing when you and that's what we're not trying to do. We don't want to teach hate to our kids. We teach love, teach
Yeah.
compassion."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody who was on a cross once said that, "Teach love and compassion and love thy neighbor." But what do I know? I'm just a homo, so
I know, and we have probably read more of the Bible than most of these people have. I saw the funniest thing
I
a
have
couple
read
weeks
it.
ago. Yes,
Yes.
same. I saw the funniest thing a couple weeks ago though, and it was to me it cracked me up, but it was clearly Jesus in the meme, and he's looking at this crowd of people, and they're all wearing like crucifixes, and they have crosses.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What the fuck makes you guys think anything about my story that I like the cross?"
Yeah. Right.
So,
Weird.
I had to crack up
Weird.
at that, but it's yeah, I don't know. There's a lot in a lot of places, and man, I have never seen so many churches as we do here. I mean, it
Oh,
is like, why are there so many on one street?
they're
And
all trying to teach the same thing as well.
mm,
It's insane to me. Yes.
yeah,
When you
yeah,
have more churches per capita than McDonald's, that is a problem. That's the way I look at it. I don't even like McDonald's, but I'm
I
just
know.
saying.
It is definitely that way here. But you just, you always wish the best for people and hope that they're all okay. I wish everyone could get left alone. Um, Especially our trans community, like you mentioned earlier, being under attack so much, and it's ridiculous. We're going backwards so much. I mean, and this is not even one step forward and two steps back. This is like throwing ourselves backwards off a fucking cliff with a lot of this.
It definitely is, yeah. But I think a lot of this is a misunderstanding or an uneducated view of trans people, and understanding that trans people have always been around and will always be around, just like gays and lesbians, bisexuals, asexuals, intersex. It's
Yeah,
just the fact that there's so our community has said, "Fuck it," and we're just going to live and be out there,
yeah,
and that they don't like that. People don't like that. They want you to stay and keep it away from them because it makes them uncomfortable. Well, you're just uncomfortable because you don't know. You're not educated enough in the community to
right.
understand it. And if you educate, and that's what I'm hoping we do with this podcast is that we educate and we show people that, look, you may have the similar story and journey that SJ has. Yet you
Yeah,
might be a heterosexual woman married to a man, and that's what you like, but you have the same journey because we're all the same people, live in the same life, on the same earth. We
right.
just like who we like, and why who gives a shit? Also, if you think about me more, then tell your spouse I'm sorry because I'm pretty fun to think about.
You are. You are wonderful to well, and I think so many of these people are so miserable and they wanna drag everybody else down in their misery.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
seeing people in our community, we're easy targets, because the joy can exude from us in so many ways, and they don't like that. Um,
Well, look what happens in the month of June every time. They get all upset over pride parades. Why do they got a pride parade? Why not a pride parade? Well, because we're celebrating love and journeys and happiness. That's what we're gonna do. Join us. But if you're not happy, if you're not joyful, then that's on you. That's not on me.
right, it's not our problem at all, and, everyone should leave each other alone. I mean, except for the
Yeah.
criminals, you know, but
Yeah, get rid of them. Put them away.
yeah.
I love it. Well, before we go, one final thought, SJ. And this is I love this question because it means something to everybody else, but we're talking about pride. What does pride mean to SJ?
Oh my gosh, pride in almost everything. We just kinda hit on joy, right? Having joy in everything, but being able to be real and be who we are, but also proud of our actions in this community and in our work centers and what we're teaching our children in the next generation. It's pride in everything for me. It's being able to smile and be happy with what we're doing and not being miserable and crusty and salty off in a corner somewhere painted red.
Right. Oh, no, thank you. Also, I hope to never get crusty, so gross.
Me too. Let's stay on our moisturizer, please. So,
Yes, you gotta get the good routine down. Well, I love it. I love that idea of pride for you. It's pride in everything. And I think that's, again, you go back to your job and why you've excelled so much. And just in life, your journey past your marriage, now into this new marriage, joy that you have with your kids, the joy you have with your wife, and the joy with your upcoming retirement that we're all excited for.
yes. Yeah, that would be great, but I'm happy for you, and I love your journey as well and where you and Mark are with the kids, and, you have done so great for yourselves, both of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we try. We're always so busy, and I look back and I'm like, all the busy stuff that we're doing because we care. Every time we have something for the kids, or we do a party for the kids, or for the friends, or have them over, like you would. Oh my God, I haven't even told you. Hensley and her best friends have been on a baking journey.
Yay.
Yes, let me tell you that the summer started, and within days, Hensley comes to me. She says, "Dad, I'm gonna bake this summer." So "That's great. I love that. Like, do I need to go get some boxes and stuff for you to cook?" She goes, "No, I'm going to me and my friends are gonna find a new recipe every week, and we're gonna make from scratch something new every week." And let me tell you, the joy I have watching them work together and bake, it's so much fun. It's
Oh,
not always perfect, but it's
yes.
always so good and so much fun to watch them, and they are having so much fun, and it's brought them so close. It's
I love
amazing.
that. That is wonderful. Oh, baking doing anything like that, especially in the kitchen, can really bring people closer, and I'm glad you're able to let 'em take over your kitchen and bond, and that's great. I'm so excited for her and
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's been great. We have 3 rules, though. Rule number 1 is do not burn my house down.
Yeah.
I felt like that was had to be rule number 1, and I've bought a fire extinguisher for this purpose. I said, "Rule number 2 is you will clean my kitchen because I cannot go to bed with a dirty kitchen. It has to be
Same.
clean." And then I said, "Rule number 3, you gotta make stuff for enough for everybody. That includes not just this house, but the other houses that your friends live in so they can take them home." And all summer, we've wonderful. It has been a joy, but I knew you would love to hear
Yeah.
that.
I love that. Who did I do I did gender reveal cupcakes for you at
Yes,
Whiteman.
for Hensley.
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
because I spilled a little bit of the pink and I, like, had to hide my hand from you because I couldn't get the dye off, and I was like, "He's gonna see my hand." So
Oh, and I had no idea because you even asked I remember you asking me that, like, a day or 2 later after when I came back to work, and I said, "I had no idea you were" it was on my hand. I said, "I'm not that observant."
yeah. Well, and it helped, we were in a darkish building at the time, but yeah, I remember,
Yeah.
like, tucking my hand up in my uniform sleeve, and I handed them to you with one hand, and I was like, "Here you go."
Yeah. Oh, they were absolutely wonderful, they were so good. I still have that picture comes through on my slideshow every now and then, and it brings me joy because they were so good, and it was so kind and everything, it was perfect.
I'm so glad. Well, I love that they're baking. Please send me pictures of their
I will, yeah,
creations.
I will, I've taken a picture I think I did not take a picture last week? I'm trying to think. There was 1 week I missed. I was so busy doing so much stuff around the house, but I will definitely they made a lemon bar a couple weeks ago. They made some or yeah, I'll grab all the pictures and I'll send them to you. It is the cutest and funnest thing to watch.
I love
Also,
it.
it'll be like a recipe will call for like 3 cups of flour, and one girl will do 1 cup, the next girl will do 1 cup, and the next one will do 1 cup, and so what could take an hour baking takes us like all day.
It's such a wholesome event, though, that they're participating in, so
It is, and it's just they don't realize it, but they're teaching themselves teamwork in the best way possible, and I can't complain.
that's great.
Yeah.
And you get to eat the spoils, right? Lemon bars?
Um, yeah, I mean, I have a little Mark and I, with our dieting because 'cause we're trying to hot girl summer it right now, so when we get lemon bars and cake and everything, it's yeah. I'll have to send you the birthday cake she made Mark for in June as well. It was a 6 or 7 layer rainbow birthday cake.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'll send it to you. It turned out really good. It was just a lot of fucking cake.
Yeah, that's a lot, and especially when you're dieting, you're like, that's a fine
Uh,
line of,
y
"We
it
appreciate it and we love you, but we can't eat this."
yeah, exactly. Well, I love it. SJ, thank you so much for taking the time, sharing your life, your journey, your love. I love it. It was fun.
I love it too. Thank you for having me, and hopefully we'll reconnect again later when
Yeah,
I am a civilian like you, but
April 1, I have it down. I'm excited.
me too, but thank you for having me, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, and thank you everyone for listening to Everyone's a Little Queer. We'll see you next time. If you or anybody that you know wants to be a part of this podcast, please reach out to everyone's a little queer at gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at everyone's a little queer. Reach out. Let's share our journeys and our stories.